Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Grow Through It podcast. My name is Julia, and today I wanted to discuss how to pursue your goals without growing apart from your partner. I'm also going to talk about how to build a relationship that supports your evolution instead of stalling it. I have always had a drive to want more for my life, and I have pursued many dreams and goals throughout the years. I have also had a very unsupportive partner and now have a very encouraging and supportive partner. So I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of what this looks like and how to build a solid relationship with someone who genuinely wants you to achieve your desires. Previously, whenever I would try something new or be excited about something I wanted to pursue, I would be made fun of, told it wasn't going to work, or some other negative view. This obviously was very discouraging, but for the most part, I didn't really care what he thought about it. I, of course, wanted the support, but I knew I wasn't going to get that. So I tried things anyway. I will say, when you have an unsupportive partner like this, it is much harder to achieve what you want, and it also puts a big strain on your relationship. I felt like he didn't care or didn't want me to succeed. My case was a bit unique because my relationship was very toxic in general. However, this isn't always the case with unsupportive partners. Often, people have the fear of, if I grow too much, will my relationship survive it? This can be scary, but growth is essential for living a fulfilling life. And if your partner doesn't want that for you, do you really want to hold yourself back and have that in your life? Growth doesn't have to mean separation. It can mean a deeper connection, and I have seen this firsthand. So, how can goal setting feel disruptive in a relationship? First of all, personal growth often brings new routines, priorities, and values. This can be difficult to navigate since this can affect your partner's schedule and needs. Your partner may feel left behind or like you don't want to spend time with them, or you might feel unsupported. Let's say you start a business and now you have to fit this into your schedule. This could mean you don't have as much time to watch TV together. You may not be home for dinner, or you may not be able to work out with your partner because they can only work out at a certain time. This can make your partner feel like you aren't prioritizing them, but in reality, you just have to adjust your schedule to make your dream happen. Maybe you finally start changing your habits. Suddenly, you aren't getting ice cream together anymore, you aren't going to as many movies, or you start reading before bed instead of watching TikToks together. Again, your partner could feel like they're not a priority. There is absolutely nothing wrong with changing your habits or pursuing your goals. It's all about balance and communication and helping your partner understand the importance of this to you. When Paul and I first met, he made it very clear to me that he has certain hobbies and lifestyle choices that some people may not understand. He goes snowboarding or hiking every Saturday, he works out every day, he reads every day, and he likes to be active in doing something fun. Before him, I hadn't really met anyone else like this who was so dedicated and disciplined to their lifestyle. At first, it was a little hard for me to wrap my head around, even though I had my own daily habits I was doing too. But at the beginning of a relationship, you want to feel like you are a priority. We had many conversations about this, and once he explained the importance of these things to him and how it will help him build a better life, therefore a better life for the both of us, I really respected it and I love to see him doing these things. He isn't always on the go. He definitely loves to also do things that I love, like playing board games, watching movies, going to escape rooms, or some other fun date idea. But I know that Saturdays he will be in the mountains, and I know his schedule for working out and reading. I talked about this in my communication episode, so listen to that if you haven't already. But we do schedule our days during the work week to still do all the things we want to do, but also make time for each other. So that is definitely really important. To some, this could feel like your partner would rather do other things than be around you, or they could feel insecure about not doing enough themselves. Some common mindset blocks are, I don't want to outshine my partner. They don't get my ambition, or I feel guilty for wanting more. So on one hand, your partner could feel insecure or not like a priority, like I said, and on the other hand, you could feel like you need to hold yourself back to make your partner happy. So what does a supportive relationship look like then? First of all, your partner should always support your goals, even if they are not on the same path. Like I've said before, Paul is not a very spiritual person, and I am. So I may have goals around this area that he probably doesn't quite understand. However, even though he may not understand, he always supports it. I also support his goals, and I love that he goes to the mountains every Saturday. It brings him so much joy and fulfillment, and I want to see that. Another thing that shows you have a supportive relationship is you celebrate wins together, not just wins as a couple, but individual ones too. Is your partner so excited for you, and do they celebrate with you when you achieve a milestone or goal? This doesn't have to look like throwing a party or doing something special every time. This could literally just be them telling you how proud they are of you and listening to you about it. In a supportive relationship, there should also be room for evolution. You shouldn't have to stay the same to be loved. Your partner should encourage your growth and welcome it. You should not feel like you have to hold yourself back for them. And you should be doing the same for your partner. It goes both ways. Lastly, you should feel safe being excited about your future. I've definitely been in situations before where I'm so excited about something and the person I'm telling just shuts it down or doesn't seem to care. That does not make me want to tell that person things like this anymore, and they clearly don't really want to see me grow and evolve. Paul and I love talking about what we want for the future, both as a couple and as individuals. It lights us up to talk about our goals, and we love hearing that the other person has dreams and aspirations. Those aspects are very important to us. We wouldn't want to be with someone who doesn't want more for their life or have any goals. Do you feel like you can dream big with your partner? If not, I highly recommend having a conversation about this. Then you may need to consider how important this is to you. Are you truly content with how things are? Or do you crave more fulfillment, happiness, or health in your life? Also ask yourself, are you growing in silence or growing out loud together? Maybe your partner doesn't actively discourage you, but you hide certain parts of yourself or you don't tell them about your achievements. Why do you feel the need to do that? If you really feel like you can't talk to your partner about these things, you must think they won't support it. So how can you grow without growing apart? Number 1, communicate your vision regularly. Let your partner into your goals so they understand why they matter. Like I said, if Paul hadn't explained to me why his goals and his hobbies are important to him, I may not understand or I may overthink things. Communication is always key in any aspect of your relationship. Get crystal clear on why you have this vision and talk to them about it. Also, talk about it often. This reinforces what you actually want and reminds your partner of the importance of it. Number 2, set boundaries around your focus time. It's okay to prioritize your goals and make time for connection. I think it's very important to find this balance. There may be seasons of hustle, but it's crucial to keep the communication going during that time and still find pockets of time for your relationship. But regularly, you should make time for your partner and your goals. For example, Paul may be hiking until like 3 p.m. on a Saturday, but then after that, we spend the evening together. I get all my stuff done before work since my schedule is a little different. Then when I come home, we can spend time together. Talk it out and find what works best for you and your relationship. Number 3, give gratitude for their support. Even if your partner is not actively telling you all the time with their words that they support you, they may show it by cleaning up a little more so you don't have to, or by working out with you, or making sure there's no junk in the house. It's important to acknowledge the support your partner gives you and thank them for it. They will feel seen and feel appreciated, and keep doing those things for you because they know it means a lot to you. Sometimes Paul and I do things for each other, and we don't realize that the other person even notices our effort until we actually acknowledge it. Like, I didn't know if he knew I was washing his coffee cup so it would be ready for the morning, or washing our towels. I do these things to make life a little easier for him, and once he actually said how much he appreciates it, I realized he does notice and that it does mean a lot to him. But I wouldn't have known that if he didn't tell me. Number 4, check in on shared values. Are you still aligned on the why, even if the how looks different? When you're focused on personal development or chasing big goals, it's easy to get caught up in the how, like your daily routines, your schedule, your new habits, or business ventures. But what really sustains a relationship through change is being aligned on the deeper why. This means asking questions like, why do we want the life we're building? What do we both value? And are we still working toward the same bigger picture, even if we're taking different routes? For example, you might be deep into personal development, building a business, or transforming your mindset, while your partner is more laid back or focused on family or life stability. You may have different methods, but if you both value growth, contribution, or financial freedom, you're still on the same page. This matters because when you lose sight of your shared values, it's easy to misinterpret your partner's path as resistance or disinterest. But when you come back to the why, it reframes things. You realize that you both want a loving and fulfilling life. You just show up a little differently. That realization builds compassion and connection. So have regular check-ins with your partner, not just about your day, but about your direction. Ask each other, what's feeling most important to you right now? What motivates you these days? Be curious instead of defensive when values seem to shift. It's normal for people to grow and reprioritize. Number 5, don't try to drag them, lead by example. Your motivation could inspire them to find their own path. The biggest example I can think of for this is seeing how dedicated and disciplined Paul is to his goals. Seeing this made me want to set bigger goals or goals in different areas than I thought of before. I push myself so much more because of him. This shows up for physical goals mostly. I want to do harder things and more fun things because of him. He also sees me doing this podcast and doing my own business, and that inspires him too. The best way to motivate someone is by going first and doing it yourself. Who would want to listen to someone about exercising more if they don't exercise themselves? So what if your partner isn't in a growth phase right now? This is a big challenge people face when they're on a personal growth journey. What if you're changing, evolving, building, and your partner just isn't in that space right now? Let's first acknowledge that growth happens at different paces. Everyone evolves on their own timeline. Just because you're feeling fired up with new goals or mindset shifts doesn't mean your partner has to match that energy in the same moment. Some seasons are for outward momentum, others are for reflection and stability, and both are okay. For example, you're waking up early, journaling, reading, setting intentions, while your partner is still in autopilot mode. That doesn't automatically mean they're not supportive or that the relationship is doomed. Focus on their openness, not just their activity. Are they curious about your growth, even if they're not doing it too? Do they listen to you talk about your dreams? Are they cheering you on, or do they seem resentful or dismissive? Support doesn't always look like doing the same thing. Sometimes support means giving you space, encouraging your efforts, or even helping with household chores while you're at an event or doing some work on your computer. If your partner is emotionally available and willing to grow in their own way, that is a green flag, even if it doesn't look like what you're doing. Since my injury, my goals and habits have had to change. I'm focused on recovery and doing my physio exercises, while Paul is focused on increasing his cardio and strength. Just because we have different goals right now doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I think it's also easy to equate growth with doing more. But sometimes personal growth means slowing down, healing from burnout, or learning to communicate better. Your partner might not be starting a business, but if they're becoming more self-aware, more present, more open to feedback, that is growth too. You can also communicate without preaching. Share with your partner what has been lighting you up, but avoid slipping into fix-it mode. Lead with curiosity. You could say something like, I've been really focused on X, Y, and Z lately. What has been inspiring you these days? Don't make them feel like they have to be on your timeline to be worthy of connection. Also ask yourself, is this a temporary gap or a deeper misalignment? There's a difference between a partner who is in a slower season but still aligned with your values versus someone who consistently resists growth, avoids hard conversations, or judges your evolution. Again, if they are not supporting you or growing themselves, it may be time to evaluate whether the relationship is supporting your highest self or keeping you small. This doesn't mean walk away. It means being honest about your needs and whether those needs are respected, even when you're in different seasons. Talk to your partner about this and tell them how you're feeling. It's also not about being ahead of your partner. Growth is not a competition. You're not better than them because you're achieving more. How can you invite your partner into a deeper connection without making them feel behind? How can you honor your growth while still holding space for theirs, whatever that looks like? I encourage you to try these journal prompts. Where am I growing right now, and how can I express that without expecting my partner to mirror me? What signs of growth am I seeing in my partner that I may have overlooked? And am I trying to lead or am I trying to control? There is definitely a difference between encouraging them to be their best and wanting to control their life. Growth is not a threat. It's an invitation for the relationship to evolve. When you become your best self, you create more energy and positivity, which benefits your relationship too. If it's the right relationship, the right people will rise with you. Paul has always told me that by working on our goals as individuals, it will strengthen our relationship. I hadn't had this understanding before him, but it is absolutely true. The more we do for ourselves, the happier we are, and the happier and healthier our relationship gets. I really encourage you to reflect and journal on the questions I asked in this episode. Take time for this because it can truly change your life and your relationship. I really hope this helped you understand the importance of growth and how you can grow together as a couple. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you could rate and review this podcast and share it with someone you think would benefit from it. If you have any questions or topic suggestions, feel free to DM me on Instagram at growthroughit.pod or use the anonymous link in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening, and remember that you are worthy. See you next time.